Here we go. We are live. The sound's right. We are back at it, guys. Howdy, y'all. What's up? I know it's late, but Primal here, and welcome to episode 1 of Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta Snake Eater. Well, it's a remake of the original Metal Gear Solid 3, which came out about 21 years ago. Yeah. I've heard a little bit about this franchise. Of course, I know it's Kojima's, magnum opus. Hideo Kojima's magnum opus. My buddy Gavin, he loves this series to death. It's like his favorite one of all time. He was, ever since, we got closer almost a decade ago, this was one of the things he'd almost always talk about, and I can see why he likes it. I mean, it's still taken a bit for me to understand and get into it, but yeah, I've been waiting for a time that I can actually, get into it. And I figured, with the remake of 3, was claimed to be the best in the series, and the one that's the first in the chronological timeline, I figured now would be as good a time as any. So let's do it. Wait, tuxedo. Sneaking suit. Naked woodland. Ammunition. Gold camo. Keratin mask. Gecko mask. Crocodile cap. New game. Snake resistance. What is this? Okay. Maybe it's a boss? Maybe a boss gauntlet? I don't know. Extras. But yeah, so my buddy Gavin, he also has a YouTube channel called Overleveled Games. If you want to, go check him out. I think he'd really appreciate the support and attention, because, he's awesome. He talks about everything RPG and, of course, other interests that he likes. And I'm sure that this game falls right into it, because, I watched the teaser reveal 2 years ago with him when he was streaming that PlayStation State of Play. But yeah, guys, it's time to officially begin our dive into the Metal Gear franchise. Question. I'm playing the NGS series first. 1, 2, 3, 4 Peace Walker. Yeah. This would be the honest one, but I guess, okay, I guess it only has, one actual... Alright, let's do it. Doberman. Foxhound. I'll just do normals. Yes. War has changed, trophy earned.
After the end of World War II, the world was split into two, East and West. This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War.
Based on Metal Gear Solid 3. This technically is Metal Gear Solid 3. David Hayter. So he's still back as Big Boss slash Naked Snake slash Keaton. Oh, I know some of these guys. So yeah, David Hayter's still back as Big Boss slash Naked Snake slash Solid Snake.
Flying over Pakistan, altitude 30,000 feet.
Approaching Soviet airspace.
20 minutes to drop off.
Commencing internal depressurization. Equipment check. Arm main parachute.
All right. Ready to go.
Drop zone still showing a high pressure mass. Cav okay.
Good. We've got high visibility.
Put out that cigar. Connecting oxygen hose to interior connector. Put on your mask. Does this panty waste know what he's doing?
Approaching release point.
10 minutes to drop off.
Hey, are you deaf?
He said put out the cigar and put on your mask.
Depressurization complete.
Checking oxygen supply.
6 minutes to drop off. Opening rear hatch.
Wow, time flies.
Sunrise.
Pretty.
External temperature minus 46 degrees Celsius. 2 minutes to drop off. Stand up.
You'll be falling at 130 miles per hour. Try not to get frostbite from the wind chill.
1 minute to drop off. Move to the rear.
Activate bailout bottle.
This is one for the history books. The world's first halo jump.
10 seconds to drop off. Stand by. Status okay. All green.
Prepare for drop off. Countdown. 5,
4,
4,
3, 2, 1.
Spread your wings
and fly. God be with you.
And you, brother. You know, all things considered, if he were still alive, my stepdad would definitely like this game slash franchise. It's everything up his alley.
Jack, I've got some important news. The head of the CIA has finally given us the green light for the Virtuous mission.
Virtual mission?
No, the Virtuous mission. The future of our Fox unit depends on it. If it succeeds, we'll be officially organized into a unit.
Virtuous mission? Sounds like some kind of initiation ritual.
You know, don't get cocky. This isn't a training op.
Right. So what exactly is this wonderful mission?
Well, about 2 years ago, a certain Soviet scientist requested asylum in the West through one of our moles. His name is Nikolai Stepanovich Sokolov. He's head of the OKB-754 Design Bureau, one of the Soviets' top-secret weapon research facilities, and the East's foremost expert on weapons development.
Sokolov? Isn't he that famous rocket scientist?
The very same. On April the 12th, 1961, the Soviets achieved the first manned spaceflight in history.
The Earth was blue, but there was no God.
Well spoken. The rocket that carried Yuri Gagarin to orbit was the A-1, known as the Vostok rocket. Sokolov is said to be the man most responsible for the multi-engine cluster used in that rocket. After Gagarin's flight, Sokolov left rocket development to become the head of the newly established Design Bureau.
From a lowly technician to head of a design bureau, that's quite a success story. So why do you want to defect?
It seems he'd become afraid of his own creations.
Afraid?
Call it a crisis of conscience.
And for that, he left his country and his family behind and went over the fence?
Not exactly. One of his conditions was that his family was also to be taken safely to the west. He used a mole to get the family out first, and succeeded in sneaking Sokolov over the Berlin Wall shortly afterwards. I was the one who conducted the operation.
The security on the eastern side was still full of holes back then. Then what?
We got Sokolov over in one piece, but the whole ordeal had left him exhausted, and we checked him into a hospital in West Berlin. It took him 2 weeks and more than 600 miles to get from the research facility in the Soviet Union to Berlin. He was in no condition to say anything coherent. And it was only a week later that we had something much bigger on our hands.
The Cuban Missile Crisis.
October the 16th, 1962, President Kennedy received word that the Soviets were in the process of deploying intermediate-range ballistic missiles in Cuba. The President demanded that the Soviets dismantle and remove the missiles. At the same time, he announced a naval blockade to prevent further missile shipments from reaching Cuba. But the Soviets didn't back down, instead placing their armed forces on secondary alert. Soviet transport ships carrying missiles continued on course towards Cuba. US and Soviet forces went on alert for an all-out nuclear war. Frantic negotiations were conducted through the UN's Emergency Security Council and unofficial channels to end the hair-trigger standoff. Finally, on October the 28th, the Soviet Union agreed to remove its missiles from Cuba, and so the world avoided a nuclear holocaust. But in order to get the Soviets to pull their missiles out, we had to make a deal.
You mean the one where the US agreed to remove its IRBMs from Turkey?
No. The Jupiter IRBMs deployed in Turkey were obsolete, and we were going to get rid of them anyway. They had no strategic value whatsoever to either the US or the Russians. The Turkey deal was a ruse, a cover story that was fed to the other intelligence agencies around the world.
So what did the Russians really want?
Sokolov. They wanted us to return Sokolov.
You mean the Soviets pulled out of Cuba just to get their hands on Sokolov?
That's right.
What the hell was he working on?
At the time, we had no idea. We were running out of time. It was either give up Sokolov or risk full-scale nuclear war. In the end, we had no choice. President Kennedy gave in to Khrushchev's demand.
Oh, shoot.
The next day,